नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सकगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सकगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are successfully studying Bhagavad Gita every day. I welcome all the devotees who are joining for the first time today. And even though we are finishing 8th chapter today, but in this Bhagavad Gita class every day, I'm going to cover slokas from all the chapters. So that way you will not miss anything. So at any point of time, if you join also, you will be able to understand the complete Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is the song of God, the most confidential knowledge. And we are very much qualified by Krishna's mercy, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we are able to receive this knowledge. People work very hard to get admission into very reputed institutions, and it will be very competitive, and to get there is very difficult. So, but this Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge which is the king of knowledge. It is the Raja Vidya. So Raja means king, Vidya knowledge. So Raja Vidya means the king of knowledge. This Bhagavad Gita is Raja Vidya. And for this, Krishna has already given admission to us. We got admitted here. So Krishna's mercy. And another thing is that it's a very secret knowledge. It is not only Raja Vidya, it is Raja Guhyam. So Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam. So even for the secret, among all secrets, this is the king of secrets. This is the king of knowledge and king of secrets. Confidential, the most confidential knowledge. That's what in the next chapter, 9th chapter, we're going to start studying from tomorrow. The 9th chapter is titled as the most confidential knowledge. So in this knowledge only we are understanding that how Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Sri Krishna, he is the supreme personality of God. Ajopisan avyayatma is bhutanam iswaropisan prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma maya. So Krishna is his own swamadhishtaya. He is coming himself by his own internal potency, atma maya. But for us, we are forced to accept this material body by maya, by 3 modes of material nature. The mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Our body is produced by maya, and our atma, that is we ourselves, we are put inside this body, we are bound inside this body by maya, by 3 modes of material nature. Nibandhanandi Mahabaho Dege Deginam Avyayam. Sattvam Rajas Tama Itiki Gunaha Prakriti Sambhavaha. So this Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Gunas, that is the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, they are produced from Prakriti and they bind the soul inside this body. I quoted this sloka many times in the past also. That is the fate. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna just Krishna comes here whenever he wants. He directly just comes here. That's it. He directly comes here. He's unborn. So when Krishna said that Ajopisan means in this earth we are born. We are born means the soul is not born, but this body is born. This body is born in this world, in this earth. And the body also dies. So when we say that our birth date or death date, so birth certificate or death certificate, so those dates are actually for the body. And when we enter all the information in those certificates, like male, age, everything, male or female, the sex, everything related to body, citizenship, all such things. When we have our passport, first name, last name, and country, citizenship, and address, everything is for the body. All these things are identification for our body. So, but we are the soul, we are not the body, we are the soul. But when Krishna comes, Krishna directly comes here. So he is not taking birth like us. So that way, Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. So Sambhavami, Krishna comes here by his own internal potential. Whereas we are forced to accept this material body in this material world, and we are forced to do activities, and we are forced to suffer, forced to struggle. So everything is happening by force. Why? Because we have that ahankara. Because we don't have the knowledge. So we don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and we have ahankara, the false ego. So once we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and we lose the false ego. So if we gain the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and if we lose this false ego, ahankara, then we will be freed from this material bondage. It's very simple, very straightforward. So as soon as we lose our false ego, false prestige, that means we are no more controlled by the three modes of material nature. Then we can go to Krishna's well and enjoy there forever. That's what in the 8th chapter we are studying, attaining the Supreme. How can we go to Krishna's well? So Krishna is teaching us. Krishna is giving us all the knowledge to go to him. So we just have to receive this knowledge. As I said in the very beginning, this is the king of knowledge and the most confidential knowledge and the purest knowledge and the topmost knowledge and the knowledge through which we can directly perceive ourselves. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam, and it can be joyfully performed. Susukam Kartum Avyayam, it is the everlasting knowledge. Susukam Kartum Avyayam. So this is the knowledge. When we get it fully, we need to study, we need to understand. And unfortunately, no schools or colleges, they are teaching this knowledge. But we are fortunate that Krishna is arranging this, giving this opportunity for us to study this Bhagavad Gita. So we don't have to think, we don't have to worry the schools are not teaching or colleges are not teaching. But Krishna is making sure all the devotees will get this knowledge. Because we are meeting those qualifications. Faith, simply having faith on Krishna, on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we have faith. So this faith is going to simply take us to Krishna's way. That means we are going to get this knowledge. When we gain this knowledge fully, when we understand this Bhagavad Gita completely, so then we are going to develop attachment to Krishna. And with that attachment, when we start serving Krishna, when we start doing everything in Krishna consciousness, in relationship with Krishna, so then we are going to lose this false ego, ahankara. That is the thing we need to lose. That is the important thing we need to lose. Something to lose is our ahankar. So false ego. And that is possible only with the knowledge. As I just said, only with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So for all our struggle here is because of our ignorance. Ignorance is not blissful. There is a saying that ignorance is blissful. Ignorance is dangerous. Knowledge is blissful. Ignorance is dangerous. The knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is blissful. Because this knowledge, Sat Chit Ananda. So we are Satchit Ananda. The soul by nature is Satchit Ananda. Sat means eternal. The soul is eternal. We are always there. We are always there. The soul is eternal, Sat. And Chit, when we get this Chit, there is Chit means knowledge, Sat Chit. So when we get this knowledge, then we will be able to get bliss. We'll be able to enjoy. That's what Ananda. Ananda means it's bliss, happiness. So that means when we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna is saying that only with this knowledge we can achieve the peace of mind. Many times I say in my class that this peace of mind, we cannot go and buy it from anywhere else. It's not available for sale anywhere. This peace of mind will come only with this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Only Bhagavad Gita knowledge brings us peace of mind. Because Krishna is saying very clearly that Jnanam labdva param santim nachirena adhikachati. When we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then very quickly we will get the supreme peace of mind. Param santim nachirena adhikachati. Very quickly we will get. So that way, if we get the peace of mind, then we are going to enjoy. We are going to be very happy. Otherwise, without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, without knowing about our own self, we are going to struggle in this material world by thinking about all useless things, by worrying about all useless things in this material world. 24/7, always thinking about lot of things, worrying about lot of things. Chintam aparimeyam cha. Pralayantam upashitaha kamopaboga paramaha etavattiti nischitaha. So chintam aparimeyam pralayantam upashitaha. So that means unlimited worries. Chintam aparimeyam means unlimited worries. Pralayantam, until the time of death, we are going to keep worrying. We are going to keep struggling. And we will never ever get peace of mind. So that means we can never ever be happy. That's it. If you don't get peace of mind, we are not going to be happy. That's why Krishna is saying that Nayam lokosti na paro na sukham samsayatmanaka. Not only in this world, or in any other world, we are not going to be happy at all if for a doubtful person. Samsayatmanaka. So samsayatmana means a person who doubts, who has no faith on this Bhagavad Gita, who doubts this Bhagavad Gita. For him there is no happiness. Not only in this world, in any other world. Nayam lokosti, na paro, na sukham, na sukham. Na sukham means no happiness. Na sukham samsayatmanaga, when a person is doubtful, when a person is not having the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why this is the supreme confidential knowledge. Many people may think that they are great, they are very great and they are very powerful. They can talk a lot of nonsense things. But everything is ultimately useless if you don't have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That is the main thing we need to understand. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge only can bring us peace of mind. This Bhagavad Gita knowledge only can bring happiness. It's the source of happiness. Peace of mind is the source of happiness. So, and ultimately with this knowledge, we realize that we are not fit to live in this material world. And we should not be aiming to come back to this world again. That means we should not have any material goals. If you have a lot of material goals in this world, I want to become this, I want to become that, I want to achieve this, all this, that, all the time, not able to find time for remembering Krishna, not able to find time for studying Bhagavad Gita. And if we think that I'm so busy, I don't have any time, then Krishna is so merciful that, okay, if that's what you want, then come back here again and again, be busy all the time and die. That's it. We will become busy all the time. Even animals are busy. They are not simply staying. They are also very busy. They are running here and there. So we should not be like animals. We should not be wasting this human body, especially. Getting this human body is a great opportunity, because with this body only we are able to understand about ourselves. We are able to understand that we are Atma, we are soul. We are not the body, we are the soul. Only with this human body only we are able to understand, get this knowledge. Because the brain Krishna has given us is so powerful. We are able to use this body. And our karmendriyas are also very powerful. We are able to, with our legs and hands, the way what we have got in this human body is really great, that we are able to do so much of karma activities, so much of activities. And other animals, they can do what we are doing it with their karmendriyas? No, they cannot do. A bird can fly, but it cannot do anything else other than just flying and just eating. That's it. But with our legs, with our hands, we are able to. Krishna has given us so nice mission actually. It's a powerful machine. And we need to effectively use it. Effectively use it to realize that we should not come back to this material world again and get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita fully. So, in the 8th chapter, we finished 27 slokas, and Krishna is teaching in the next sloka, in the 28 slokas, this 8th chapter has got. So in all these slokas, we understand very clearly, Krishna is answering just for one question asked by Arjuna. In fact, Arjuna asked many questions in that one or two, in the two slokas. Arjuna asked many questions in the sloka number 1 and 2. And Krishna answered all the questions in just next 2 slokas, in the slokas 3 and 4. And except one question. That question only Krishna is answering continuously now. All the slokas in the 8th chapter, remaining slokas in the 8th chapter, starting from 5th sloka to 28th sloka. And also in the 9th chapter also. If you study in the 9th chapter, then 10th chapter first, in the first sloka, again Krishna is, in fact, up to 10th chapter, 11th sloka, Krishna is continuously teaching only. So that means it is, earlier I said that it is in the 8th chapter, in this 26 slokas, and then 34 slokas in the 9th chapter. So that makes 60 slokas. So 34 plus 26, and that's what Krishna is continuously teaching, like that I said. But really in the 10th chapter also, Krishna is continuously covering up to the 11th sloka, up to 11th sloka. So that means basically 71 slokas Krishna is continuously giving this answer. So it's very important, very nice question. Kim tat Arjuna vacha, kim tat brahma, kim madhyatma, kim karma purushottama, adibhutam cha kim proktam, adidevam kim uchyate, adiyajnaka katam kotra, tegesmin madhusudana, prayana kale cha katam yeyosi niyatatma bihi. So what is Brahma? Kim tat Brahma? Kim Adhyatma? What is Adhyatma? Kim Karma? What is Karma? Kim tat Brahma? Kim Adhyatma? Kim Karma? Purushottama. Adibhutam cha kim proktam? Adidevam kim uchyate? What is Adibhutam? What is Adidevam? Prayana kale cha katam yeyosi niyatatma bigi. So at the time of death, how to remember you? how to know you, how to know you at the time of death. That's a very important question. So Krishna, for all the other questions, explained in the next two slokas. Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavodhyatmam Uchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visargaka Karma Samjitaka Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavaga Purusaschadi Devatam Adiyagnogam Yevatra Dege Dega Britamara. So that's what Krishna explained. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. So this soul is Brahman. Aksharam Brahma Paraman. Swabhavo Adhyatmam. Its nature, its Swabhavo, its nature is called this based on the three gunas. Every one of us have got our own nature. That is called Swabhava. That's Swabhavo Adhyatmam. So that is called Adhyatmam. So Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatmam Uchyati. Bhuta Bhavodbhava Karo Visargaga Karma Samjitaka. When our body is produced at that time, the karma, the activities. So that's what Visargaga Samjitaka. Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavagam. So Adibhutam is the other material elements. So which Ksharo Bhavagam. So there is our body. Our body is made up of Adibhutam. Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavaga. Purusaschadi Devadam. So Purusha, the demigods, so they are Adidevadam, Purusaschadi Devadam, Adiyagno Aham, Evatra Dege Dega Pratambara. Adiyagno Aham, I am the Adiyagna. Krishna is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Bhuktaram Yagnya Tapasam. That's what Krishna is saying, that I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Adiyagno Aham. So then, starting from the 5th sloka only, Krishna is teaching, as I said, basically it's not 20, 24 slokas. 24 slokas basically Krishna is teaching in the 26 slokas, but in the answer about the how to reach Krishna starting from the 5th sloka. So basically 26 slokas and then 34 slokas in the 9th chapter. Even in the 9th chapter, 34th sloka, Krishna is still teaching us about how to go to him. Because Arjuna is asking the question, Prayana Kalecha Katam Nyayosi Niyatatmabi. So, how to remember you at the time of death, how to go to you. Krishna is saying in the 9th chapter, 34 sloka, just one sloka, if you understand and follow perfectly, we will go to Krishna. Manmana Baba Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaisyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Manmana, always think of me. Baba Madbhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, offer your obeisances unto me. Mam Evesisi, you will come to me. Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanagam. If you keep me as your ultimate goal and if you just engage in my devotional service, then always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your obeisances unto me, you will come to me. That's it, Krishna is in there. So that way we can go to Krishna. So that's what in our life 24/7 we should be doing. In our life, using this human body, we should be doing 24/7, thinking about Krishna, becoming a devotee of Krishna, worshipping Krishna, doing everything for Krishna. So that means whatever we do it for Krishna. So here in the 8th chapter, then Krishna continuously taught us about how to reach him. Especially at the time of death, if you remember Krishna, we'll go to him. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samsegam. So you'll come to me, there is no doubt about it, if you remember me at the time of death. But how to remember Krishna at the time of death? We need to have that yoga balam. So how we will get that yoga balam, that strength of yoga? By performing devotional service unto Krishna. Bhaktya yukto. Prayana kale cha. Prayana kale manasa chalena. Bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva. Bruvor madhye pranamavesya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. So if you are able to remember Krishna at the time of death, then we'll go to Krishna. That's why Krishna said that Ananya Chaitaga Satatam Yomam Smarati Nitya Saga Tasyagam Sulabhaga Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginagam. Without any deviation, if you remember me all the time, then you can easily obtain me. That's what Krishna says. So then, different times, then we studied about the Brahma's world, Brahma's planet, the Lord Brahma. So we understood about that clearly. We also understood very important science in this chapter, that Avyakta and Vyakta and Brahma's 12 days, that is 3.2 billion years in this material world, we are keep on changing bodies. And then again Brahma's 12 hours, that is the entire night. We are not getting any body, but still we are in dormant state. So then again when Brahma's day starts, again keep on changing bodies. All these things we understand very clearly. Then Krishna is teaching us that there is another world. If you come there, you don't have to suffer like this. So here when everything is destroyed here, nothing happens there. Paraga tasmatu bhavonyo avyakta sanatanaga yasya sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu navinasyati. So that is the thing. We have to go to Krishna's world. So there is another place where nothing is destroyed. Everything is all the time same. But how we can go to there? Bhaktya labhyagatvananyaya. Only without any deviation, if we are having bhakti, love towards Krishna, only bhaktya labhyatvananya. So only with devotion we can go to Krishna. Yam gatva na nivartante taddama paramam mama. If you come there, you are not going to come back to this material world. Then what are the different timings? We die, we leave, we go to Krishna's world, and different times we don't go. So that are applicable only to yogis. Then in the last sloka, what we studied in the 27th sloka, yesterday, Naite sriti partha jnanan yogi mukhyati kaschana tasmat sarvesu kalesu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. By knowing all these things, a yogi is never bewildered. So that's why all the time, sarvesu kalesu, you be a yogi. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. So then that's why this yoga. So we understand about yoga, yogi very well in all these chapters. That is just doing everything for Krishna. Not getting ourselves attached to results. So that means ourselves getting attached to Krishna all the time. That means doing everything for Krishna. Only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Having this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and doing everything for Krishna. So that's why Krishna said in the 6th chapter, Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi jnanibhyo pi matadhikaga karmibhyascha adhiko yogi tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. So the yogi is above all, above tapas, jnani, karmi. So therefore you become a yogi, Arjuna. That's what Krishna is saying. Now in the next sloka, the last sloka in the 8th chapter we are finishing today. In the 8th chapter, sloka number 28, Krishna is teaching us that Vedesu yajnesu tapassu chaiva danesu yat punya param pratishtam atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Vedesu yajnesu tapassu chaiva danesu yat punya param pratishtam. By studying the Vedas, by performing austerities, by performing yajnas, by performing sacrifices, by performing yajnas, and then by performing austerities, and then by doing charities, by charities, danesu. So whatever gain we get by all these things. So Krishna is saying that atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva. You will get everything just by being a yogi, just by knowing about this, how we are going to go to Krishna. If you remember Krishna at the time of death, we'll go to Krishna. So if we do devotional service unto Krishna, we are going to get yoga palam, the strength. So that way we need to serve Krishna all the time, be a devotee of Krishna and do everything for Krishna and become a yogi. So just by knowing all these things, just by doing all these things, we will get all these things by studying Vedas, Yajna, Tapassu, Daneshu. So what does that mean? That's why many times devotees ask questions which are not discussed in Bhagavad Gita. or which are not relevant to what we need in Bhagavad Gita. Because if we need, Krishna would have taught everything. Krishna teaches everything what we need in Bhagavad Gita. So that's why there is no point in, at this point of time, this sloka itself is very clear that there is no point, there is no need for us to go and study Vedas. There is no need, because there is no time, first of all, for us. We have to serve Krishna a lot. We have to make a lot of devotees. We have to make many, many devotees. It's very nice. Our YouTube views are increasing every day and many devotees are subscribing to our YouTube channel. But it should become very big. So we should all spend time to share this knowledge. So that way the number of subscribers should go into millions. And we should be able to identify millions of devotees and teach them Bhagavad Gita. So just by doing that, we are yogis. When we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we are yogis. When we are sharing Bhagavad Gita, we are yogis. When we are connected with Krishna, when we are connected with this Bhagavad Gita, we are yogis. So that's why Krishna is saying that, so whatever we do or by all these things we will get. So that doesn't mean that we will stop doing this yajna, dana, tapa, karma. Because that should be done for Krishna only. Because in the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying very, very clearly that yajna, dana, tapa, karma, natyajam karyameva that yajno, danam, tapaschaiva pavanani manisinaka. One should never give up the activities which are done as yajna, dana, tapa, karma, as offering unto Krishna. Sacrifice means offering unto Krishna. Yajna, dana, charity, tapa, austerity. These kinds of activities should never be given up. Natyajam karyam evatat. We should not renounce. Because yajno, danam, tapaschaiva pavanani manishinaga. Because these kinds of activities purify a person. But with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, being a yogi. So when we become a yogi, we don't need anything. We are not after material things in this material world. We are not attached to anything in this material world. We are attached only to Krishna. Our goal is only to please Krishna. So we do everything for Krishna. Of course, we are not be a loser. We will get whatever materially speaking. Krishna is going to take care of us very well. It will definitely happen. He's the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhu mattaga sarvam pravartate. Then why he will make us to suffer in this material world? If we are doing everything for Krishna, he is definitely going to take care of us. As I say every time, he gives the knowledge, he gives the strength, he gives the memory. Krishna gives everything. So that way, we should do these kinds of activities with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita by being a yogi. That's why Krishna is saying that that is Vedesu, Yagnesu, Tapasu, Chaiva, Danesu, Yat Punya, Palam, Pradishtam, Atyeti, Tat Sarvam Idam Viditva, Yogi Param Sthanam Upaiti Chadya. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, very successfully we have completed the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita today, attaining the Supreme. And now we will start the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we'll discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna. I'll hand over to Shiva. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji. Almost to give the entire 7th chapters.
Yes, 8th chapter. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So there is one question we have from Dr. Harish Damodaran. He asked, Guruji, is doubting bad? Because of doubts, Arjuna got all the knowledge of Gita. Because of doubts, science is developed. Can you explain?
Thank you, Prabhu, again asking such a nice question. Yeah, you can, these doubts they are not kind of doubts, they are your questions. So you are asking, Arjuna himself asked many questions to Krishna when Krishna answered. For example, Arjuna even asked a very basic questions also. In the 4th chapter, when Krishna told Arjuna that I gave this knowledge to Vivaswan gave it to Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, and it was received through disciplic succession. Evam parampara praptam imam raja rishyo vidugu. Then in the due course of time, this disciplic succession was broken. Sakali nega magatto yogo nashtaka parantapa. That same knowledge which I gave it to Vivaswan millions of years ago, I am giving that same knowledge to you today. Sayevaya maya tedya yogaga proktaga puradanaga bhaktosi me sakacheti ragasyam ki etad uttamam. Because you are my bhakta, you are my devotee, you are my saka, you are my friend. That's why I am teaching you this most confidential knowledge. Ragasyam hi etat uttamam. At that time, what Arjuna asked Krishna? Aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvataka katam etat vijaniyam tvam madhav proktavanidhi. Aparam bhavato janma. Your janma is inferior. Inferior means you are junior. You are junior, not inferior. You are junior by birth. Aparam bhavato janma. Param janma vivasvataka. Whereas Vivaswan's janma, by birth, he is much senior to you. Katham etat vijaniyam tvam madhav proktavanidhi. How am I to understand it? You first gave this knowledge to Vivaswan. That is not doubting, but it's asking questions. Arjuna is asking questions. How to understand? Because Krishna is simply saying that I gave this knowledge. So at that time, Arjuna is asking. It's a very important question actually. Because what the answer Krishna is giving? Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tani akam veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Both you and me have taken many births in the past. I know all of them, but you don't know anything. So we understand very clearly from this sloka that we have taken many births and Krishna knows everything, but we don't know anything. We don't know anything. So this kind of knowledge we get by asking questions, by inquisitively, by trying to understand, asking questions. But if a person doubts Bhagavad Gita without even studying, without even understanding, see, the most important qualifications to study Bhagavad Gita is to have open-mindedness. We should be able to receive the knowledge. If we are already pre-filled with different kinds of concepts, and if you are not ready to receive the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we cannot get this knowledge. So we cannot doubt Bhagavad Gita. That is the main thing. So Bhagavad Gita is the science. If we don't have any doubt on this one thing, then we are going to get everything. So that way even scientists, when they do something, they are not doubting the past laws. For example, if the law of gravity or the law of motions are different, the law of energy, conservation of energy, mass, all such things. If we doubt those laws, then we won't be progressing. Even though no one has seen electrons, but we believe that there are electrons. Because with that knowledge only we have achieved so much. So that way, that faith helps us to get more and more progress. If we doubt, if we don't have faith in our life tomorrow, then we cannot live today. If you think that tomorrow when we walk or when we go out, we are going to get killed by something, accident or something, if we doubt, then we cannot even step out. So we are having faith. Every day when we do everything, we are having faith. So that faith only keeps us moving. So like that way, if we have faith on this Bhagavad Gita, so that's what means there is no doubt but faith. If we have faith on this Bhagavad Gita. When Krishna is talking about the doubtful person, Vinasyati, Agnyascha, Asraddha Danascha. So the doubtful means Asraddha. Asraddha means it's simply not doubt, it is no faith. Samsayatma. Samsayatma means a doubtful person. So doubtful person who has no faith. So that is the main thing. Hare Krishna. I hope you understood, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji. We have one more question from Sarthak Prabhu.
Yes.
He asked, Guruji, is it not greed that one person is following a spiritual path to attain Swarga or Vaikuntha? Isn't spiritualism should be about rising above your greed?
Definitely that is not greed. Thank you again asking this kind of question, Prabhu. Because sometimes even devotees say like we should be only Krishna, that give me more and more wish to you. We should not be even like thinking about going to Krishna's world. That itself is greed, like that we think. How can that be greed when we want to go and be with Krishna? We should feel the separation from Krishna actually. We are supposed to be with Krishna all the time. We should not be struggling in this material world. So, when we get that kind of attachment to Krishna, when we feel the separation from Krishna, we want to go to Krishna, our Supreme God, our Supreme Father, our Supreme Lover. So that is not greed. That is love. So that we should not be confused that with the greed. So that way going to Swarga is greed, definitely. If anybody wants to go to Swarga Loka, so Krishna is saying that Tetam Bhuktva Swarga Lokam Vichalam Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Visanti. After we enjoy the vast heavenly planet, we will again come back to this material world. But if we go to Krishna's world, we are not going to come back here. So that is a great desire to have. We should be very much attached to that. Of course, Krishna knows if he wants us to serve here more, Krishna will keep us here. But that we leave it to Krishna. We don't have to pray to Krishna that Krishna, please make me to serve here only. It's okay for me to be here. Not like that. Because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita repeatedly teaching us, saying that you come to me, come to me, come to me. Like that's what Krishna is saying. So that way, we should not be worried about that. We should be focused on going to Krishna. We should not think that there is a greed. There is nothing wrong in it at all, as per Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji, for a great explanation. We are to the end of questions, so I'll unmute participants so that they can talk to you, Guruji.
Yes, please.
Interpret this Bhagavad Gita in today's management, like during these days.
Yes, Prabhu. Krishna is saying that Chaturvanya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasaka. So I have created these 4 varnas. There is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya, Sudras, everything based on the Guna Karma. If we understand the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita very well, we will be able to see everyone's gunas. We will be able to, in fact, all the, even in management, it's a very important management course, that the DISC profiling, DISC, D-I-S-C, that is dominance, influence, steadiness, compliance. So that you can Google it, you will find it out. So, but they don't know, but it is given in Bhagavad Gita. So basically, many industries, they use it actually. They use it very much, this DISC profiling. So there is you can write a quiz or exam like kind of thing. They will ask a lot of questions. If you just answer based on that, they can tell you which profile you belong to. That is called natural profile and acquired profile. They also say that it is natural profile and acquired profile. That's what Swadharma, Paradharma. So dominance is Kshatriya, influence is Vaisya, and steadiness is Brahmana, and compliance is Sudra. So that's what this profile. So in the management, like if we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to understand that everyone is forced to act by the 3 modes of material nature. So we'll be able to figure it out. The reason why the industries are using that, they want to engage their employees based on their profile so that they can maximize their profit. They can maximize the performance. It is you can just Google it. It's a very important management course. They are using it actually. So that's what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Sreyan swadharmo vigunaga paradharmat swanustitan swadharme nidanam sreyaga paradharmo bhayavagaga. So based upon our swabhava, everyone has got their own swabhava. Based upon our swabhava, there is a swakarma. We have to do those activities. And doing our swakarma based on our swabhava is known as swadharma. So swabhava, swakarma, swadharma. So that's what we need to do. So Krishna is saying that sagajam karma kaunteyam sadosamapi natyajet. So we cannot give up any activity just as fault. So dhumena vriyate agni. So just like fire is covered by smoke, every endeavor is covered with some kind of fault. So that way, we should be doing based upon our swabhava, our swadharma, we should do that. So that way, if we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita fully, we will be able to see through the eyes of knowledge, that is jnana chakshusagam, that how each person's their modes of nature, their swabhava, and engage them in their modes of nature, then it will be very effective. And also, if we are not having any attachment to the results, then we will be able to get out of our swabhava, we'll be able to free from the modes of nature, we'll go to Krishna as well. So either in management or any job or whatever we do, we should not be attached to the results. That's what is very important. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Guruji.
Hare Krishna. So you are connecting from which place, Prabhu? Raj Prabhu?
Houston. So,
Oh, you are from Houston. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Very nice. So how did you know about this?
I came to know from my group, Devilina.
Oh, okay, okay. You're not through Facebook. Very nice, very nice. Where in Houston, bro? Which part of the Houston you're from?
West part of Houston.
Let's get influenced by two factors: our own inner world as well as our social ecosystem. Guruji, which one should we follow? Hare Krishna.
So two factors. One is what did you say, bro? Our own.
Our own inner world
Uh-huh.
as well as our social ecosystem.
Okay, okay. Which one we need to understand the question? Yeah, of course. We need to. This is a very good question, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So if you have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so then we need to follow what Bhagavad Gita says in any activity. So in whatever we do, whether we do or we don't do or anything, so it should be only based on Bhagavad Gita. So tasmat sastram pramanante karya akarya vyavasthito jnatva sastra vidanoktam karma kartum ihargas. So here it is not that what we think our own inner world or what the social system, what the other thing, everybody thinks, everybody is doing the way. It is what Krishna wants us to do. That is the main thing. So we all the time we should be asking the question when we do an activity whether Krishna is approving this, whether Krishna likes this or not, whether it is going to please Krishna or not. That is the question we need to ask. That how will we know that it is going to please Krishna or not? If we know the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita very well, because Krishna is very clearly explained, Krishna is very clearly given everything about what he wants from us. So that way, if anything which is pleases to Krishna, if we do it, then we can do it based on Bhagavad Gita. Anything which is not pleasing to Krishna, we should not be doing it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
I'm not able to hear anything from breaking.
Yeah, I think every day he's trying to connect. He's not able to get the thing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Ahankara, we should not have in our life. How to live this life without ahankara means we are always talking about.
So he is saying something like we should not have ahankara. How should we live if we should not? Something like that. Manikandan Prabhu, maybe you can send the question in the chat. I
Yes,
can
bro.
ask Guruji. I know your signal is having some problem, but you can type the question in the chat. I will ask to Guruji. Thank you. Thank you. I'm unmuting Srini.
We are very grateful that you are organizing this session, and I don't say I understand fully because it has to go through many readings. What I could understand is we have to go through. Initially, we can understand, but the inner things it may take time, and we would like to learn more from you. And thank you very much for that.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah, over a period of time, when we study again and again these slokas, many times, we are going to remember everything. Prabhu Krishna's mercy.
Then only we will be able to know the actual hidden theme of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now we may, as we are listening for the first time and we are going through the Bhagavad Gita for the first time, we may be getting the superficial things, whatever we could get from our little knowledge. If we increase our knowledge, we will be able to understand more from it.
If you understand Bhagavad Gita as it is fully, then everything will be known, Prabhu. Krishna's mercy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Guruji. I see a new name, Balachandran. Balachandran, I'm trying to unmute you. You can unmute and talk with Guruji. Balachandran.